Greetings and salutations, universe. This is Creeta, and this is Omnifactory. In the last episode, we did a whole bunch of stuff, mostly focusing on getting this little micro circuit right here. We needed to get epoxy and all sorts of good stuff to get that working. Now, if we want to do anything with this little fancy little fella right here, we're gonna need. Well, it looks like we could get a microprocessor. Could we get an array? We can't. We need titanium. And we need titanium again to get the first tier 5 circuit. So one way or another, I think that we need titanium right now. But first, we have our flight suit. And we also have a very excellent source of coins. So I'm thinking we spend a little bit of coin action. Just like 36 of it right here. And we're going to toss on the airtight seal enchantment onto our flight suit. But first, we just need to grab a little bit of experience. What is it? Is it matter? I think, yeah, a little bit of matter should do us nicely. Right? We're going to toss that in there. Flight suit will now have an airtight seal. Grumpy pants, airtight seal in a moment. With the last piece being our frigate boots, which allow us to move very well. That is the wrong item. Enchanted book. For some reason, that's 64 levels. That's a lot of enchantments on this little fella. But there we go. Grumpy pants, flight suit, glibbles, and the frigate. Now, we should have an oxygen bar right there. I don't know if we necessarily need to actually modify any of this stuff. It is a good question. It doesn't look like it, so it should just be able to have its own oxygen supply. And now, whenever we go to the moon, I won't have to change the outfit, but we'll have this little annoying O2 sensor. Where the heck am I? Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Oxygen is now up and up. Sweet. So if we go to the moon, wrong teleport. There we go. If we go through on over here to the moon, we shouldn't die. And it's nighttime here. But we can also fly here at the moon. How nifty is that? Fantastic. We can go back to Rustville, and everything is hunky-dory. Now, I did take a quick peek at what we needed to do to get titanium. So our goal is the hot titanium ingot, which we will obviously cool. And for that we need magnesium, no big deal, but we do need titanium tetrachloride. This stuff we have to combine with rutile, with some carbon dust, and a little bit of chlorine. That will give us carbon monoxide, which I think is just a byproduct, and titanium tetrachloride. Now, these resources, specifically chlorine, to me is very valuable. But, from my understanding, we get the magnesium and chloride back in this magnesium chloride dust. So, if I understand it correctly, I should be able to grab this tank, find our chlorine, which apparently we actually have plenty of. That is fantastic. And 16 magnesium. And I don't think that we're going to need anything other than that. Well, these two will be in a closed circuit, and then these drawers right here should be everything that we need to make this work. We'll need an output spot, so we have a storage bus right here. And I've already sneakily put a cable facade right here, so that is going to be our ME interface to put the hot ingots into. It'll go over there automatically, and all we have to do is hook this up. This chemical reactor is going to make the titanium tetrachloride, so we just need to put the chlorine in there. Let's even do this manually for the first run. We'll grab a stack of both of these, doink doink, and see how slow this is. Whoo! That that wants to take its time. Yeah, that's 25 seconds on HV power. Oh no. Oh, this is slow. Now, this is a very, very temporary location for this. We're probably going to have this be in the fluid room because it's making fluids. And then this electrolyzer, we'll put it somewhere. And this guy will be in our main EBF room. In fact, he might be the first EBF on the right side. But there we go. We should see some titanium tetrachloride and the carbon monoxide. Now I'm going to grab this, and I'm just going to slap that down right there. And I'm going to have this be on fluid auto output so that we can just get rid of the carbon monoxide right away. We want this tetrachloride to go in as a fluid. So fluid input hatch, we'll have that flow along right here, like so. Now it is a pink liquid, so I think we'll have it be inserting on pink, just like that. This is extract on pink. Beautiful, always active. That is only insert. And now we should have some fluid in here. Awesome. Now, more specifically, I want to make sure that that is only going to be titanium tetrachloride. So we're just going to titanium. There we go. Doink, right? That way, this doesn't confuse what liquid it wants to go in here. We know what it wants to go in there. All right, now the last bit is to put our magnesium into the input bus right here. And now we should be getting, there we go, running perfectly. I have this maxed out. This is the maximum number of energy input hatches we can have on the bottom here. I think it's 4 or something ludicrous like that. I don't even know if it's running at full speed. Hilarious. But it's running perfectly, and on this side we should see, there we go, hot titanium ingots and magnesium chloride. Whew, fantastic. Now I am going to just grab that and bring it on down here. What color are we doing? Pink again? I think everything here is going to be like a pink color. Kind of work with the pink. Right, like so. Extract on the pink. And this guy, we're going to put a filter right here to only take the hot titanium ingot. Fantastic. Of course, on pink. Now this is just a test, but it should come on over here and we should get titanium. I don't see why we're not. Probably because we're not auto outputting or something. Always active. Insert on pink. Hot titanium ingots. Are you not hooked up, sir? Here's our cabling. Aha! See, you can always find what goes wrong. There we go. Pop on up here. And now that's operational. And we are, I guarantee, getting some titanium in our system. Titanium. We're going to pull that out for a moment and have that go into a drawer right here. So titanium right there. Storage. Bidirectional is all good. We definitely want to lock this drawer. And now we can have cable come up. Make sure that the priority is really high. And this is almost self-sustaining now. All right. All we have to do is sort of deal with the magnesium chloride. That needs to go into this electrolyzer right here. So just like we did before, we're going to, well, you don't want to have that output on the bottom, or we don't want to have it be output on the back. There we go. Insert pink, basic item filter, and this one is magnesium, and it's the dark stuff. There we go. Hello. I could hook this up all on my own, but I think it's important to show everyone the process that we go through to get where we want to go. And just like that, we should get our magnesium chloride in here. Now we are having energy problems, so I'm probably trying to do too much at one time down here, but one way or another, there's more magnesium, which we're going to get into the system over there, and we have our chlorine, which we're going to get into our machine right here. I love it when a plan comes together. Now, just to demonstrate, this is the same 16 magnesium that we started with, and this is the same chlorine, the 32 buckets that we started with. I haven't brought any extra. Just kind of to demonstrate that this is a closed loop for those two resources. I think that is an important distinction. And now it should be activated. So the chlorine is going to go in here, and our magnesium will go in here. This is a fully, mostly closed loop, right? Our inputs are rutile and carbon, and our outputs are carbon monoxide And if we include the freezer over there, titanium. Ho ho, yeah. I like it when a project comes together. Now, I do have to make a few bucket requests, I suppose, to make sure that we can actually get some of these fluids. Otherwise, the game thinks that we haven't completed it, right? Quests must be met. Otherwise, how will it know that we did it, right? Even though we have titanium, we have demonstrated that we have it done, but there is the quest. Nice? Nice. That's what I think. All right, toss in that just to make sure that that is good to go. Now that we have tetrachloride, we need to make sure that we acquire one of the hot ingots. Make sure that's on off of input, and we should, at some junction, have one pop into the output bus. There's our hot titanium ingot. We're going to just see if we can put that back in. Nope, we can't. We're going to take this manually over to this fella. Where do they go in? There's the input bus. Whew, that's hot. That is a little bit too hot for me. Don't like it at all. But I do like this system. I'm almost tempted to just leave it. It's already set up, right? No, I'll move it at some juncture. This is a testing location. This is not the permanent location of this production in any way, shape, or form. Apparently the hot was just a you click situation. But there we go. Now we have titanium, and theoretically we should be able to make some new circuits. Do we want to jump into that right away? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think I should let this run a little bit so that we have a teensy bit more in forms of titanium. I'd like to have more, and this will just keep running as long as we have it having rutile and carbon, so we might go look at something else. So we just took care of the titanium path right here, and that's currently cooking so that we can make some circuits hopefully soon. But I thought, you know what, we might as well try and tackle this little circle right here. We don't necessarily need the elemental reduction fluid. I'll probably do that at some juncture, but I have not made all of these powders for some reason and their respective dust piles. And with those, looks like we can make our own nether stars, and we can even make some mana dust, which I've been eyeballing for all sorts of blast furnace recipes. So we're here back at the pagoda, and we're just gonna toss in some of these pristine fellows, and I believe basalts was one of the ones that I have not yet made. Basalts and blizz, for some reason. Unsure why, but that's all good. Should be able to just make a little bit of this, and at some point we'll automate this whole thing. But for right now, I'm just doing a little bit of learning, and while we do that, we can actually get rid of most of this stuff up here. Beautiful. And I'll just pull this stuff out and look around for the other pieces. So what was it? We have a lot of powders. There we go. So we have some blitz powder, and now all we need to do is grind up these rods, and we should be in good shape as far as this quest goes. I don't think we'll really run into any issues, but we can certainly find out. So while that's cooking, mana dust is created by mixing together all of these dusts along with a little bit of diamond. So I'll probably have to have a spot where we grind up diamonds, and I think it should be as simple as just toss stuff in here and then make some dusts, right? Nothing complicated. Basalts and blizz. There we go, blizz. Beautiful. So blizz, we need snowballs. I hope we have snowballs. Okay. How about basalts? We definitely have obsidian, right? We need to do all sorts of things for this, huh? Ay. Now, I took a moment to work on the recipes for a few titanium parts. We can now make plates, rods, and frames, which I believe should allow us to make microprocessors, like this recipe, like so. and then the microprocessing array, like so. And finally, the mainframe, which should be our first tier 5 fellow. And then we just have to find the advanced assembling machine one and put in our recipes. Fantastic. Just hooked that puppy up, and we should be able to request preferably one of each, but I think we'll just try and go directly for the big boy, and after that we'll get the other ones. Now, assuming that everything has hooked up properly, this machine, it's dark out, it should sleep. This machine right here is going to make everything that we need. See, this is why we look. We need to grab the wrench, make sure that it is on item output, and then we grab the screwdriver and make sure allow input from output side. That way items can still come in and it doesn't get all confluffled. Now this thing should definitely be on blocking mode, otherwise we have a massive problem on our hands. Don't want to have any problems whatsoever. Alright, now it's working a little bit slower now because this recipe is obviously a little bit harder than this one. 5 seconds, this one's 10 seconds, I'm sure that this one's 25. Oy, oy, oy. If I want to be working with these, we need to make them ahead of time. But I think it should have just made our first microprocessor array, and it's gonna keep working at that. Once I have all 3, we'll pull them out, but I'm pretty sure that we should be able to see everything as well in the system down below. Right here we can see it is crafting that right now, and any moment now we should be able to see that circuit pop up right there. Now I will just request one of these, please and thank you, and one of these as well. Nice. And that way we can get all 3 quests done at the same time. Just like that, with the magic of editing, we have our microprocessor, the array, and the mainframe. So, doo-doo-doo! Nice. I love it. That's amazing. Second tier 4 circuits. Woohoo! Hopefully that's a little bit easier for us to work with. And there is our very first tier 5 circuit, which is going to hopefully unlock the EV age for us. The IV age? Did I just skip a circuit level? I don't know. Oh yeah, tier 4 is for EV. Well, we need that for the EV assembling machine, this tier 5 one. It technically is for IV machines, but the assembling ones always require a tier above it. That makes sense now. I understand. Now, unfortunately, we're probably going to have to leave that here, because to make an EV machine hull, we have not made the requisite liquids. Either silicone rubber or styrene butadiene, which I need to figure out how to make. Air, styrene, butadiene, maybe. Or make silicone rubber, which sounds a lot easier. Sulfur, and then this really complicated worded thing, hydrochloric acid, methanol, and silicone. Yep, that's probably how we'll do it. But we can't make any EV machines without its hull, and for that we need the fantastic and lovely liquid to go with it. Now, unfortunately, like I said, that is going to have to be it for this episode, but I hope you've enjoyed. And look at how much stuff we got done. We are just plowing forward. Whoa, awesome. All right, catch you in the next one. Bye-bye!